But yeah, I believe we are ready. We are going to go to sparring ring for the first match of the day. There we go. I just need to remember that this is not an Xbox controller. So I've been playing a lot of PC lately. A lot of PC, a lot of Xbox. But it's good to be back on ARMS. Because it's just a game that I love, honestly, so... It's always good to see some more ARMS gameplay. Also, please let me know, chat, if the sound is okay on your end. Just so we can be sure of that. And let's go, we're going right in. With Yoshi Bowser with his trusty bite and bark. And Kev on the other side, still sticking to the twin tail. We're not gonna do anything weird today. We're just gonna train seriously for next week. Already, Yoshi is taking the advantage right now early in this game. Although Kev is fighting back a little bit, Yoshi is going to try and play the distance game on sparring ring, which is an interesting strategy considering how small this stage is. But then again, I guess he is playing to Kev's strength and kind of showing him off, yeah. Yeah, trying to control the stage as much as possible with that C key as well, being very threatening right now. As a reminder, the C key will blow up in your face in an electric shockwave and does stun you if the electric shockwave gets you. But it can also backfire like that, and Kev is just going to use that opportunity to confirm into the rush. But still, Yoshi is continuing to apply a lot of pressure. Here's the stun in to grab. And yeah, just like that, a C key in the face. And that's gonna be the first round. We're just gonna get back into it, you know. And Yoshi has rush as well going into round 2, so it's going to be very dangerous for Kev. Gonna have to work around, be very careful about what he does. Because this could get pretty ugly real fast. And it's already showing. Kev is trying to be very patient here. Yoshi going to try and punish with the rush, but it's not going to work here. And just Yoshi continuing to play from a distance. Which is just showing that he's more than comfortable with Kev's usual play style. Like, at some point, the players know each other very well. However, Kev is going to get a very nice punish here. Thanks to the rush. And yeah, we also have the slap on Yoshi's side in order to control that space. Control those left and right areas to prevent Kev from using the time slowdown ability from Twin Tail. Since this ability is technically tied to her air dash, so there's that. Ooh, good freeze. Bark! Blocking the grab. Unfortunately, Yoshi is not going to be able to capitalize on it, but Kev is just going to be dropping the shield a little bit too soon and eat up the explosion that is going to be 1-0 to Yoshi Bowser. And now, as you know, especially if you've watched the match before, it is time for the counter pick phase. But the question is, where does Kev want to go after that? Yeah, Yoshi's just got the participation award from a UAC. I think from Battlefield then as well. All things considered, I think he might have been just consistently there for every tournament that comes in for Europe. And we're gonna go straight to Buster Beach. A little bit of a larger stage. Probably to try and impose the game, his gameplay a little bit more, I would say. And what we've seen as well is that in this matchup, Yoshi is not using Bark too much so far. I haven't seen him do too many shenanigans from footstooling Bark and stuff like that. He's just very confident in base bite. And then again, Bark did save him a couple of times from a grab or a punch, so you know, sometimes it just is useful. Like, look at that. Yoshi is just hiding behind Bark. And Kef is struggling right now to get rid of Bark, it would seem. There we go, finally Bark is down, opening up Yoshi. But Kef was already taken a lot of damage, already 25% on his side. And despite Yoshi being stuck in the bottom half, Kef is just struggling to get any hits in. There we go, but Yoshi is going to go for Rush in order to deflect that. Not gonna land, but still a very good burst option to have in order to get out of here. And now Kef does have Rush on his side, going for the grab here. And that's the interesting thing as well, when you have a Chilla, like you have on the right side of Kef. You can get the freezes and you can kind of bait people into whether they're gonna go for a freeze chain or they're gonna go for a grab. Kef is going to land that rush here, taking back the advantage on the life. But Yoshi is slowly but surely going to be very close to rush. And once again, going to hide behind Bark for that one. He is stuck in the lip right now. Gonna get out a little bit. Sorry, chat. But it is going to be tough still. Yeah, it's gonna go through time. Yoshi's going to waste the rush as well onto Kef, and yeah, that explosion is not gonna be enough to get the damage he needed. He needed to land that rush if he wanted to take that round, so it's going to be one round to Kef in this second match. But good start to begin with into the grab. Already going to delete 20% of Kef's health. And yeah, Yoshi is being very consistent right now, getting those Seiki hits. Kef, however, is going to find the rush here in order to get out of a sticky situation. And yeah, Yoshi is starting to struggle a little bit here. Seems like Kef is really starting to adapt to the fact that Yoshi is not playing with Bark too much, honestly. And is very much playing from a distance. Just keeping that distance as much as possible. Ooh, but a nice little rush, and that's the big thing with Seiki. You're gonna do a lot of damage with that rush. Even if you don't land the full thing, you're still gonna get a lot of damage. And that's the big thing as well. ARMS can be a little bit inconsistent in its gameplay just because it's a very physics-based game. Obviously, the strength data and everything, we still need to make a wiki for it. But it can be a little bit tricky considering the physics and considering a little bit of weirdness with the netcode in it. But it's not going to really matter with Yoshi Bowser taking that win. And now we're going to game 3. Yoshi's frozen, gonna hide behind Bark. Kev, you were maybe a little bit too patient on that one. Could have used that time to destroy Bark, but there we go. Bark's gonna go back. And the stun into rush. Not gonna end the full rush, but still 375 damage just from the first half. And now Kev is in a very precarious situation. Yoshi frozen. Kev continuing to try and weave around, but no, Yoshi is going to be able to take that first game that first match pretty convincingly overall. Very nicely done by Yoshi. Of course, we will see Kev again in the losers bracket. What is going on with the score reporting? I think it's just Paul having fun. And Yeah, now we're going to move on to round 2. I believe with Penzo, yeah, it is going to be Raziel versus Penzo. There we go, we're loading in. It works well. That's cool. I like when technology works. Obviously, as usual, I'm using German Stream Helper. And sometimes it has some weirdness with challenge. But here it works, and it works well, so I'm very glad that it just loads into matches. Unfortunately, I do not have a bracket view for chat set up, so you're gonna have to type in !bracket if you want to follow that. And we are going to start that next match on Mausoleum. Raziel is getting ready. We're probably gonna see the usual characters again. Yeah, Twintail and Kid Cobra. No surprises there. We're just gonna go in. And yeah, Penzo with that huge clapback is going to be very much a threat if he manages to get in, but Raziel is very much aware of that and is going to use that cooler ring in order to weave around that clapback and pretty much avoid anything. Still, it is going to be very interesting against that that Tribolt to have that giant clapback that Cobra can just whip out. And yeah, right now Penzo's just struggling to get any leeway onto Raziel. Raziel is just amazing, an amazing player anyway, so there's that. Unfortunately, not gonna get... You can get a stun from the Tribolt into a grab, but it is very tight. The timing is very tight on that. So it can be very tricky. And there's the cool ring. That is going to be a quick first round from Raziel. Just very convincing. And going into round 2, we've got the switch on Penzo to the regular boomerang. That is going to be very interesting in order to try and go around the Tribolt. But still, it really feels like Raziel right now is on point with the dodges, on point with weaving around. Penzo is just gonna go for Roll Rush here, get a solid 300 damage in order to get some kind of advantage here. Ooh, very nice grab here by Raziel. I thought that was not gonna land. And here's the cool ring coming in, going for the ice chain, going for the hard knockdown here. Ooh, and Raziel is just going to deflect with the rush burst here. That grab. And now Penzo is one hit away from dying. And the Tribolt is just gonna take it. That's gonna be 1-0 to Raziel. Pretty convincing match so far. And to be fair, the Twintail matchup for quite a bit of characters is pretty hard. And we are going to see the Temple Grounds coming out. The Temple Grounds pick coming out from Penzo. And the Loro Pop is coming out as well. So we're really switching from a very fast, I would argue pretty balanced character with lots of offense and defense just from the movement alone, to a character that's going to be a lot more defensive. Especially with those air guards. As the Loro Pop is just able to guard in the air and also jump out of shield to do a super jump. And we do see the Hydra as well, which I think may be interesting to try and catch Razul jump, but Razul doesn't jump that much, so we'll see how it works out. I would have, I think, preferred a more horizontal arm. But so far it is doing work. I think the Lockjaw is doing more work, in fact, overall on Razul right now. Both players have rush on deck. Both players have to respect that rush. And it's going to be Razul going in for punishing that Lockjaw. Gonna get some good damage in, getting back the advantage, getting back the higher part of the stage as well. And now we're back into a situation where Penzo is just struggling to get in on Razul and get some damage in. Very nice grab though, very nice grab in order to push him on the other side of the stage. Ooh, but Penzo here is going to press rush a little bit too hastily and not going to get much out of it. And unfortunately, that might be just over. 4 seconds on the clock. It is going to be really tough. And yeah, we'll just take the KO and move on. Now Razul is in an excellent position. Has a rush advantage as well. Could pop it at any time. Penzo is going to... I feel like Penzo has to be scared right now. This is going to be a lot of pressure going into this game, to this round 2. And yeah, lots of trading in. Interesting pick, by the way, by Penzo from having 2 boomerangs right now, but right now it's not doing much work. Razul is going to be able to find the rush, but now he can just play pretty defensively and just be very careful, and it's going to be okay. And that's the thing. Penzo is the one who has to approach here. And this is where it's going to get tough. We are going to see the Roar Rush, but it's not going to give him any major thing in terms of damage here. Unfortunate that this double Boomerang Rush isn't that good, and Razul is just going to be able to find a free rush as well. And now it's looking very good for Razul. Penzo's just stuck, it feels. Just cannot find the opening onto Razul. Gonna get knocked down here. The grab attempt is going to get punished, and that is going to be a quick 2-0 from Razul, moving on to lose the semis. Very nicely done from Razul. Now if we look at the bracket, I believe, yeah, the winner's semis aren't ready yet. What it seems like. So we'll see if we have a match in the meantime, but yeah, I think they're just still playing. Losers round 1 is already decided. We do have Penzo versus Skiff and then Yam versus Paul. Meanwhile, in winners, we still have Rifa versus Yoshi going on. Bepe has taken it over Yam. And then Grim and JK are still playing as well. Yeah, you speedran that game, Razul. You speedran that game. It's okay. In the meantime, let's just play the ads real quick. Just as a reminder, yeah, make sure to register for Vortex Gallery next week. But don't register next week. Like, the tournament is next week at 15 CET on the 12th. But don't register next week. Register now! Because registrations are closing in on Tuesday, and after that there will be no registrations. So if you want to play next week, make sure to register now. There's also a $200 prize pool for this tournament. We have $202 in fact in the prize pool right now. You can support it right now as well for free by typing in !Matcherino in the chat. You'll be able to redeem codes and it will just add to the pot for free. So help the community out, help the other Vortex tournaments out as well while you're here. It's always going to be a good time. And also, as you know I'm also running Wolf TV on the side. And the next Battle for the Den tournament will be for Breaker's Revenge and will be on the 19th of February at 15 CET. So if you want to discover Breaker's Revenge, you can register right now on the Wolf TV challenge. I don't know if we have a command for that. We might have, I'm not sure. Let me try. We do have a command for that. Cool. We do have a command for that. So yeah, make sure to register for Battle for the Den as well, which will be on the 19th of February. And also next week at the Playing Grounds, we will be playing some Rivals of Either. This will be just a free play session. As usual, this will be on the 7th of February at 21:30 CET. So if you want to play some Rivals on Steam, make sure to join us for that. So let's see, is the bracket moving on? Damn, Rifa versus Yoshi actually turning out to be a very competitive game. I'm guessing Rifa might have practiced a lot of Smash lately. Which makes sense because, you know, Smash Ultimate exists. But no, apparently it is a 2-0 to Rifa. It is a 2-0 to Rifa. Which means we are going to see Rifa versus Bippin next, I believe. And then the other side of winner semis is going to be decided in the background. I believe that's what's going on. Yeah, we just got the other side of winner semis. It's going to be Grimwood versus Razio. Fair enough. But yeah, so far the seeding is respected. Rifa's very good at seeding. I'm not. Rifa knows what's up. So we shall see where they take us for the next match. I think the big question for now, but especially for Vortex, is does anyone manage to take down Rifa? Obviously, for the last EU Arms Challenge, we had the whole how to put it, the whole bounty on Rifa's head. At the end of the day, he just won from winners. Just dominating from winners. And then that pot came back into Vortex, so you know, that's nice. But we are going to see the Rifa Helix today against Bepe's Min Min. So not the usual characters we're seeing for this matchup. Ooh, and a very nice grab to begin with from Bepe. From Gerardo. Which is already going to set up nicely with that Dragon Arm. Because that's the big thing. You get the grab, you get the Dragon Arm. And now you're in a very good position. We do have double roasters as well on Gerardo's side. Which is very interesting to see because it is just straight up punching. We're just straight up punching. Unfortunately, we're just straight up missing as well because there's no auto aim on those arms. There's like zero auto aim on the roasters. And so far, Rifa is just struggling. Finally getting the hard knockdown, but ooh, but we're gonna stick Bepe in the corner here. Rifa trying to be very threatening, honestly, with that Guardian. Guardian is not an arm you see too often, I feel like, which is always nice. It's always nice to see it have some action. Okay, that was weird. And then you've got the Biffer on the other side, just very good anti-air. Always nice to have. 10 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure who's got the health advantage. I would say Beppe. And Beppe is just gonna put out the rush here in order to catch Rifa's landing. Very nice. You do need to be very good to control both your left arm, your right arm, and your movement at the same time. I will say that much. Especially with one stick. That's the big thing. Like, using one stick for all of this can be very tough. It's a little bit easier with motion controls just because you can angle your left and your right arm differently. But at the same time, traditional controls do make for more precision, just more consistency. I actually wonder how arms would play on a hitbox. I should try that at some point, out of curiosity. But yeah, Beppe right now is not able to cash in and charge the Dragon Arm. Rifa is just applying too much pressure. Beppe does not have the time to charge the Dragon Arm. There we go, finally got the Dragon Arm on that chakram. But it's already taken like almost 75% for just trying to get that arm. So not the best position to be in right now, really. And yeah, we just stuck out the Guardian a little bit too long on Rifa's side, and Beppe is just going to be able to get the rush. And that's the big thing, still. We did mention that Beppe was having trouble charging that arm, but at the same time, it is going to give him a lot of momentum. However, Rifa is going to get a little bit of rush in order to steal that round. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Look, there's a lot that went wrong with ARMS marketing. The first thing being, it was always tied to Splatoon marketing. Like, why? Like, even for the ARMS Direct, we got a Splatoon trailer. Why? But anyways, going into round 3, we do have Beppe taking the Ascendant once again, getting the rush as well. Again, punishing that Guardian very well. Just being very patient and punishing that Guardian. And I feel like the Guardian is going to be Rifa's downfall in this matchup. Here, very good trade, honestly, from Beppe. Very advantageous, because it snuffs out Rifa's rush completely, despite the stun. He was just in knockdown, so he couldn't do anything about it. And now it's just a matter of landing a couple tri-volts or a full roster hit. And it's going to be the first game to Beppe. But that's the thing, Rifa is not gonna... Rifa's gonna block here. Thankfully not gonna get anywhere near a broken shield. And yeah, Beppe just have to play very patiently right now. He's got almost a full 25% lead, a little bit more in fact. 6 seconds on the clock. I think that might be curtains for Rifa in this first game. Yeah, and the grab not gonna be enough to take the Ascendant. Very nicely done by Beppe. Getting the first game in this matchup. There might actually be some truth to saying that Rifa might have focused a little bit too much on Smash lately. But then again, Rifa is very good at adapting. And also has a good counter-picking game as well. In terms of counter-picking characters at the very least. But we are sticking to the Helix. Rifa wants the Helix to work in this matchup. And we are going to go to Via Dolce as well, which I feel could be very interesting, since you do have, once again, the Guardian. It's just going to block that tight space in the street. and be very threatening. But at the same time, Beppe is also going to get free charge at the beginning of each round, pretty much, on this stage. It's already showing. We are pushing Riffa right into the corner. Riffa is slowly but surely advancing out of it. But Beppe once again is in a very advantageous position. Going to apply a lot of pressure with that roaster as well. This giant roaster. Giant dragon roaster. I love seeing dragon arms on Min Min because they just become so huge. Like, some of the biggest girth in the game. To have that dragon arm up and ready. Nice 1-2 from Beppe. Riffa in critical. Gonna have to try and find something to get out of here. The Biffer here is not gonna take that dragon arm, but we are going to see some weirdness with the rush here. Now Riffa's got Beppe in the corner. Beppe just has to play very patiently. Once again, 18 seconds on the clock. There's no worry. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. Pretty handily. And now we're on match point for Gerardo. Which is definitely not what we expected going into this match. And Riffa is finally done with the Guardian as well, going to go for the Scorpion instead. Beppe is just going to get the rush, but the Scorpion is going to be very interesting. And I know Beppe knows how to play around it, because if that thing is charged, it's going to be 3 dot damage for Riffa. Ooh, manages to block the rush just in time. Ooh, very good stun here from Gerardo. Riffa continuing to try and go for the double punchies. Beppe not managing to land the rush, gonna get punished instead by Riffa's Scorpion just sneaking out on the right side. And there we go. That is going to be a round win for Riffa. Staying alive in this game. And yeah, the Scorpion can be pretty fast, so it's gonna be tricky. You do have to respect that thing. It is slower when you do it direct, but on the side it can be pretty fast. It can lead to some interesting mix-ups. And now Riffa's got Beppe stuck in the corner, gonna get a full 305 damage. Not the most damaging rush, because again Scorpion, but we do have once again potential for dot damage from that arm, so it can be worth it. Beppe's gonna manage to charge the giant roaster. Get one punch in. Ooh, Beppe trying to punish that jump, but Riffa's just sliding right around. And that's the thing with Helix as well, you've got some good ducks as well. Some interesting jumps and some good ducks. It can be pretty tricky to punish, yeah, I feel like. Ooh, unfortunately though, that rush is not gonna go at a right angle. And you're not gonna be able to get the full rush on Riffa's side. But still, now Riffa is the one who can just afford to be patient. With a healthy life lead. Beppe being a little bit hasty. Landing the roll rush though. Getting back a little bit into the game. 10 seconds on the clock. It is going to be very tough for Beppe if he wants that quick win. 4 seconds. Yeah, no, it's over. It's over. It's over. We're done. We're going to go to game 3. But yeah, that's exactly as I said. Riffa was messing up because of the Guardian. The Guardian was not a good idea on Riffa's side, and the moment he switched to the Scorpion, Beppe was struggling a lot more. And now we are going to go into game 3. We're going to have to see what adjustments Beppe makes going into it. We do have the DNA lab pick. which could be interesting should Rifa not... Should Rifa continue to use that Scorpion? But I'm not so sure. Rifa has switched sets. No more Guardian, no more Scorpion. We are going to see Lockjaw and Popper. And we might see a completely different playstyle here. Now we do have a Rifa that's just towering over BP. And that's the part that's going to be tough. Because Rifa can just hide behind the pillars. Just hide around the test tubes. And throw BP for a loop in here. And yeah, BP, despite having a charged Dragon Arm, is going to struggle a little bit. Just trying to get to Rifa. As Rifa is just able to sneak around. Get a first test tube down, but yeah, it's looking very grim for BP all of a sudden. And there we go, that is going to be the first round here to Rifa. And now we have Rifa on match point. Which is going to be scary for BP. BP not able to charge here. The pillar is just going to break a little bit too soon. And the win confirm is going to allow Rifa to get some massive damage. I don't know how BP comes back from this one. BP has to hide behind that middle pillar. I'm not going to be able to get anything. Rifa's just going to slowly dodge and even break the arm here. It is looking very grim for BP. And yeah, just that's the perfect we were looking for. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Rifa was enabled. BP has had no chance. And unfortunately is going to fall straight down to the losers bracket. And now we're just going to go to the other side of winner semis with Grimwood and Raziel. There we go. And now the question is, who does Grimwood pick in this matchup? Because Raziel is probably going to go for the Twin Tail. But who does Grimwood pick? I feel like Grimwood would do better a little bit on a medium stage right now. But I'm more curious about the character that we're going to see than the stage, honestly. Yeah, we're just going to go to Buster Beach in terms of the stage. We're gonna see the Bite and Bark come out. Bite and Bark getting a lot of love today. You love to see it. Because, let's be honest, Bite is considered one of the lower characters in the game. Not the lowest by any means. But not definitely as good as the high tiers like Twin Tail, like Coil, like Brass. At least that's how I feel, you know. Ooh. And so far it's looking pretty even, honestly. Raziel did have a quick rush, which is to be expected. as we're seeing a very aggressive Razor, honestly. Just making sure that Grimwood cannot use Bark in any fashion. Still, so far Grim does have a slight health lead, not by much. Gonna have to be very careful. There's also always the danger of blowing up your own nade in your face, like that. And yeah, so far both players just spacing each other out. We do have Grim now in critical, Raziel back on the advantage state. The Raziel is going to be pushed a little bit in the lip. Recognizing that, gonna get the kill on... Ooh, unfortunate rush! What an unfortunate rush! We got the first hit, but the physics said no! That slope is going to shut down that rush completely, and now Grimwood is into round 2, lost the round, lost the rush. And this one's gonna hurt. Mentally, this one's gonna hurt. It's already showing as well, because he's already in a disadvantageous position. Going to be pushed in the lip of the stage by Raziel. Completely stuck here, honestly. Grim is almost completely stuck here. Gonna throw, gonna push back into the wall. We're going to go to the other side, but it's not really gonna matter. I think that missed rush is going to do more mental damage than you'd think. Grimwood is starting to slowly but surely get back into an advantageous position. It is going to be very tough to get back from that, though. And yeah, going for the freeze chains. Going to go for the grab here, recognizing that there was a shield coming up. Gonna push back with the popper. And Grimwood's making the comeback happen. Slowly but surely, hit after hit. Grimwood is making the dream happen. We're just one hit away on both sides. This could be anyone's game all of a sudden. But the grab. But the grab, we're done. Raziel moves on to the next game with 1 point on the board. But yeah, we were almost there for Grimwood. And now the temple comes out. Temple pick comes out. If only that rush in the first round landed, we would probably be looking at a completely different story. But it's okay. We just have to shrug it off and move on. And we are going to see the Ninjara come out. Interesting. I'm always a little bit scared to see the Ninjara come out from anyone. Because you essentially do not have access to blocks, so you do have to dodge those rushes perfectly when they come your way. Because otherwise you're just gonna end up teleporting into them like 75% of the time. So I'm always a little bit scared for the Ninjara player. But so far Raziel is keeping Grimwood at a distance. Grimwood starting to go on the offensive. Raziel has rush. Dangerous situation to be in. Grimwood also has rush. Yeah, Grimwood just has to respect it. Just has to respect the option. And there's the rush. Yeah, Grimwood's not going to be able to escape that as he had the nade thrown out. Ooh, very nice grab here from Grim in order to get back onto Raziel's level. Gonna pop out the rush. This one is going to land and this one is going to kill. No sloop, physics, whatever shenanigans going on here. Just a nice, clean punish. Now Razzle doing the 1-2 to try and keep Grimwood as far away as possible. And that's the thing, a lot of the punches right now are trading. And so far it is trading in Razzle's favor. Grimwood struggling to get in, gonna get an arm down, not gonna be able to get much out of it. Both players have Rush once again. Ooh, very nice 1-2 from Grimwood. Getting some good hits from Nate, honestly. And Nate is a fast arm as well, so it can be very hard to avoid, but also very hard to aim because, again, this is one of those arms that has like almost no auto aim. Yeah, Nate is going to blow up in Grimwood's face. And no rush is going to be used in that round. Just a nice clean round of punching. And Raz is on match point. Ooh, very nice rush here from Razzle. Gonna have to put down the pressure on Grimwood. Grimwood does have the top side, does have the high ground. Ooh, nice catch once again from Razzle. Yeah, Grimwood just struggling to get in on that twin tail. Finally gets a hit from the nade. Ooh, very nice grab as well. Yeah, we're looking at a twin tail that is pretty evasive right now. Doing very well, but the nades, the damage is racking up very quickly, honestly, thanks to those nades. And especially with the Tri-Blast on top also exploding in Razzle's face. Damage is racking up pretty quickly. Now we're almost even, but Razzle is just gonna try and go for the explosion confirm, but it's too tight. Razzle's not gonna get it. Instead, Grimwood is going to be able to rush right back in order to get a point on the board. We are going to game 3. Yeah, Grimwood getting some composure back. Now we're gonna switch the stage to Mausoleum. And Grimwood is going to go straight to Cobra as well. From what I've been told. I don't want to say in the earrings because... in the earbuds, because I don't have earbuds. It's just the Discord text chat. Ooh, and the Kablammer is out on Grimwood's side. A giant, massive hammer to try and hit Razzle on the head. But here's the thing as well. I feel like the cool ring on Razzle's side is going to be very key in that matchup. Because Cobra relies so much on movement and so much on his dashes that if you can get the freeze, it's going to be over for Grimwood before you say it. Grimwood is very well aware of that, being very evasive right now. Ooh, very nice punish on that grab. And the rush as well. That is going to be 370 damage, some massive damage. Thanks to the Kablammer. Yeah, Grimwood making the Kablam work, honestly. And avoiding very well the cool ring, and 175 on that grab. This is a medium damaging grab, I would say, but that is going to be enough to get the round. And now we have Grimwood on match point. Ooh, Raziel using the rush here. Gonna get the second half of it. Still gonna get 25% out of it. That was an interesting trajectory from that Kablammer. Again, Grimwood being pretty evasive overall. Also jumping a lot in order to avoid those freeze chains that I've noticed. And yeah, I swear the physics are playing tricks on me on that matchup. More than usual. Raziel able to punish that Kablammer pretty accordingly, pretty convincingly with the rush. Raziel in critical, Grimwood as well. Grimwood is one hit away from dying. Has to be very patient, play very carefully in order to get that run, but that's not gonna happen. We are going to go to the final round. Grimwood does have rush to begin that round, but Raziel is not too far behind. I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor to have that early rush. There we go, yeah, it's just not a factor. We're just gonna play punchy. Literally with Grimwood. Double roaster, all reliable. Playing a lot of pressure from afar right now on both sides. Ooh, very nice dodge into the second half of the rush from Grimwood. That's the thing as well, you don't need to punch immediately after activating rush. You can just use a little bit of time to avoid anything that's coming your way, and you're gonna win most trades that way. And now Raziel is in critical. Is going to be able to get the stun confirmed here. Grimwood trying to go for a cheeky grab. Instead, Raziel is gonna get it. And all of a sudden, it's looking very even once again. Who's gonna take this? Raziel slowing down the grab. The trampoline is out. Probably at the advantage. Ooh! Grimwood trying to go for the rush. Raziel using his own rush to protect himself. And now we're just fighting from across the trampoline. It's whoever lands a hit first, honestly. Never mind. Now it's whoever lands a hit first. 5 seconds on the clock. Pressure on both sides. And Grimwood is going to take it by a smidgen of health. Very well played by Grimwood, who was just patient enough in order to get that win. Just by a smidgen of health. Very, very, very well played. That does mean that our winners final is going to be Grimwood versus Rifa. We shall see Raziel once again in losers later. But while we get ready for that, for our first to three of the tournament, just as a reminder, make sure to register for Vortex Gallery next week. It is going to be happening again next week on the 12th at 15 CET, and you want to register right now because registrations are closing on Tuesday and there will be no late registrations. Once we're done with the registrations, we're done with the registrations. So make sure to register right now by typing !Vortex in the chat. You'll have the link so you can register for the tournament, and there's just like a ton of other cool tournaments happening at Vortex as well. So, you know, make sure to register. And also there is a match Reno going on for Vortex Gallery. So make sure to contribute to that. You can contribute for free. by redeeming a code. If you just type in !Matcherino in the chat, go to the link, redeem the free code. Is going to add to the price pot, which is currently of $202.50. Very important to have those 50 cents. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Also, coming up soon at Battle for the Den for Wolf TV will be Breaker's Revenge. This will be on the 19th of February at 15 CET, and you can register right now by typing in !Wolf TV in the chat. If you want to discover Breaker's Revenge, it's on the PC, it's on Fightcade. You can get it pretty much free, so yeah, make sure to check out the tournament. And finally, next week at the Playing Grounds, once again at Wolf TV. This will be on the 7th of February at 21:30 CET, and we'll be playing Rivals of Ever on PC, on Steam. So if you just want to play, get some matches in, you know, just some free play action for you guys. This will be again on the 7th of February at 21:30 CET. But with that, I believe our winners final is ready. We are going to be starting on Sparring Ring. This will be again Grimwood versus Riffle. And it's time to see who gets the upper hand. Ooh, interesting matchup. We're going to see the Springman coming out from Grimwood in order to try and take down Riffle's Helix. And as a reminder, this is our first to three of the tournament. So lots of time to adapt for both players. Grimwood's already backing out, honestly. I was about to say on the offensive, and then he had to back out. Now Riffa is the one who's applying a lot of pressure. With that popper, with that lockjaw. I don't think we're going to see the Guardian again from Riffa. I don't think we're going to see the Guardian again, in all honesty. And now we're back to neutral. Grimwood does have a slight health lead. Going in, we both have players with Rush. And we're going to get the stun confirmed on Grimwood's side. Very nicely done. Just very good catch on that jump, honestly. And the stun in order to finish it off. That is going to be first round to Grimwood. Ooh, and straight away going for a cheeky grab at the round start on Grimwood's side. And to be fair, Grimwood just played his winner semis match, so he's pretty warmed up. Very nice grab once again. In order to get out of that wall. Now the pressure is on Riffa. Bring back to neutral. Bring back to center stage. And that's the thing. Once someone gets a hit, another stun confirmed from Grimwood. Grimwood just on point in getting those stun confirms onto Riffa. And to be fair, sparring is a very consistent stage. So that helps as well. Ooh, getting caught by the explosion of the lockjaw here though. Unfortunate. Guard dropped too soon. And now Grimwood is stuck in the corner. But we do have Grimwood in critical, does have max mode on his side. Thanks to, you know, being Springman. But yeah, just a dry bolt in the face is going to ensure that this does not go further. There's going to be 1-0 to Grimwood. And for the next match, we are going to go straight to Mausoleum. Still sticking to the same characters. Now it is going to be a bigger stage. So I feel like both players have to be a little bit more patient. just because it is going to be a bigger stage. And already it is showing that Rifa is applying a lot of pressure on Grimwood right now. Grimwood being stuck to the wall, pinned to the wall, since the beginning of this game. And yeah, Grimwood now in max mode, now in critical. I'm gonna start. He's gonna be able to go more easily for any stun confirms just because he has perma-stun on that Tri-Volt. It's not going to matter though. Rifa gonna take that first round pretty convincingly. A counter pick that just works out. And Grimwood going into round 2 is going to go for the boomerangs as well. I've just noticed it's like default Springman right now. And yeah, Rifa's still trying to push to pin Grimwood down to the wall. But Grimwood is doing a much better job right now, just using the dash, using the deflect from Springman in order to get some leeway in. And also managing to get a very good rush thanks to a very quick toaster. We're going to get a trampoline here. Trampoline's coming out. And now it's going to be much harder for Grimwood to just move around. Meanwhile, Rifa is just going to take advantage of it. And yeah, just like that, Rifa's going to take a point on the board. Just an easy win for Rifa on that one. Especially once the trampoline was out. Grimwood seemed a little bit lost on where to go. And we're gonna go to Via Dolce for the next game. And I was about to say, we're probably gonna see a character counter pick. We are going to see the Master Mummy coming out. And Master Mummy doesn't really need to... He does need to move, but at the same time he's not going to be able to move much, so... We shall see how it works out. That's going to be the big thing. We were trying to be very threatening with essentially a big, fat megawatt. But at the same time, I'm not sure how it's going to work out against Rifa. Like, so far, Grimwood is pretty much being decimated because Rifa is just able to react to everything. Grimwood is not going to really move much. Ooh, very nice rush as well from Rifa. And yeah, Rifa's just able to maneuver around all of this. Going to get the wide grab as well in order to get the KO. Only took a little bit of chip damage in that encounter. I don't think the mummy was a good idea. As much as we love the mummy here, I don't think this was a good idea. And now as we're going into round 2, Grimwood trying to use the healing a little bit more. But Rifa has him pinned in the corner. That armor is going to save him from a lot of woes, I feel like. But at the same time, against the wind arm, it's not going to give you much. Ooh, and the full wind confirm as well from Rifa. The full wind confirm. 330 damage, Jesus. But yeah, Rifa's just able to slip down and get those cheeky punches as well. Grimwood finally getting a win confirm of his own. Getting back on the board here in terms of damage. And a nice grab. Slam! 200 damage, a little bit of an overkill. But it's a fun grab to see. One of the reasons why we love Mummy here is just the slam grab. I'm starting to see the mummy. I'm starting to see the mummy just trying to play around with that armor a lot. Granted, the popper is still very much a threat if charged. But Grimwood is starting to get into the rhythm of just armoring through everything he can. That's going to be a big thing. And yeah, getting some cheeky win confirms as well. Where we get that damage. Rifa is also very good at getting those win confirms right now, so it's pretty even. At the end of the day, you do have a pretty even matchup, but yeah, the win confirm here is going to delete whatever was left of that health bar. Unfortunately, it is not going to be the good day for Mummy. And we're going to go straight back to Via Dolce, it would seem, for the next game. But I think Grimwood might be counterpicking again. So we shall see. Ooh, the coil is out. The coil is out. Triple blorb coil, never mind. I was about to say Grimwood finally taking things to the next level with a top tier, and then we're just gonna see the blorbs. Which, I mean, yeah, we love the blorbs here, but it's all going to be movement at this point. It is just going to be movement, and Rifa knows it. Because Blorb is just not the greatest arm, honestly. So far it's working. Nice electric into grab though. Rifa has used this opportunity to bring out the Guardian. I don't think the Guardian can do much, honestly, against Blorb, to be fair. Ooh, very nice grab from afar from Grimwood. Grimwood being a little bit too hasty with that rush. Maybe trying to go for a cheeky shield break. Definitely getting the arm break though on that exchange. We do have a Biffler on screen as well. This is just gonna... It's an interesting set on both sides, we'll say. Grimwood going for rush. I think that might kill. No, because it's a bad rush and it's not going to link. Grimwood on 1 health. With also 1 hit away from dying, especially with those dwarves. 10 seconds on the clock. And the Biffler is going to be able to take that round for Rifa, who's now at match point. And Rifa going double Guardian. For this next round, it would seem. Which, okay, I'm not sure what the double Guardian is gonna do in this situation. It's like Rifa was like, yeah, I won with 1 Guardian. What if I won with 2 Guardians? Good punish on that rush, though. Just using a lot of timing mix-ups, I would say. River right now is using a lot of timing mix-ups to try and catch Grimwood off guard. And so far it's working. The focus is not so much on the Blorb hitting the Guardians, because that's not going to happen because of the bounciness. The focus is more so on mixing up the timings on those Guardians to try and catch Grimwood off guard. Rifa not gonna get punished on this. Unfortunately, the Guardian Rush is going to be very slow and not catch Grimwood either, so... There's that. And yeah, just like that, Rifa won with 2 Guardians. Okay, sure. Sure, why not? Sure. That is one way to get into the winner's side of Grand Finals. That definitely is one way. Yeah, we're having grand old time here at EU Arms. Just having grand old time. And now we just bring in the losers semis. Raziel and Penzo coming in. I mean, so far the seeding still mostly works, although like Penzo is getting some upsets in there. Penzo upset Beppe, from what I can see. Penzo already saying that he's gonna get 4th place again. No, come on, Penzo, you can do it. I believe in you. The 4th place curse is not that strong. You can beat it. You can defeat the curse. Come on, Penzo. But I mean, it is Raziel. So it's going to be tough, but you can do it! Come on, Penzo! I know I'm not supposed to be biased, but screw it, I'm gonna be biased! And we're going in with the Springman as well. Also, I like that the Discord chat is sharing their OSTs right now. I personally have been listening to a lot of Rhythm Heaven OSTs this morning. So there's that. We are Raziel already getting a good health lead going into that first round. Catching Penzo from the side every time. Feels like Penzo cannot see what's coming in on the left side, on the right side of him. And Penzo's already in critical. We're like 30 seconds into the round and Penzo's already in critical. Jesus, that was an onslaught from Raziel. Come on, Penzo, you can do it. Maybe not with double dragons. We'll see. I want to know what's going in your head doing double dragons, because you're not even going to land the rush, it's too slow. And yeah, that's just 3 hits for Raziel. 3 rush as well, like... Jeez. It's like the moment you commit... Ooh, but getting the arm break here could be a reverse of momentum. And yeah, as long as he can get those direct hits. I mean, I get the idea. I get the idea of limiting the movement. Ooh, getting the rush as well. Not gonna get the full one, but still. I get the idea of limiting Twintail's movement by just being threatening with double dragons, but is not gonna work. I'm sorry to say, it's not going to work like that.
That's a wrap.
But come on, Penzo, you can do it. Yeah, it's weird because Raziel was doing well at the beginning against it. And Penzo just started mixing up a little bit the timings. And then Raziel was starting to get lost in it. It was interesting to see. at the very least. And we are going to go on Via Dolce. See, on Via Dolce, I would see double dragons working out a little bit better, just because it's so freaking tight. But we are going to see the Cobra. Cobra's coming out. And no dragon shenanigans this time. We're gonna see the Gusher and the buff. I keep mixing the buff and the other one. And yeah, so far Penzo is doing a little bit better, it feels like. But Raziel is going to push him in the corner, where he won't be able to use dashes too much. And again, that's the big thing. I feel like Cobra might be struggling a little bit more on Via Dolce, so I guess it's a comfort pick at this point. Because where do you dash? That's the question, where do you dash? Good rush though, very good rush. 300 damage, that's pretty convenient. And the dot damage on top. Yeah, that's my question on Via Dolce. Where do you dash? I mean, so far it's working until the 1-2 comes out from Raziel and that's over, but it was working. Other than that. And yeah, going into round 2, we do have Penzo still sticking to the same set. Raziel's gonna be able to get a roll rush in, get the extra 20 as well for good measure. Trying to go for a cheeky grab is gonna be countered, and Penzo is going to go for rush. Very nice rush here. Not gonna get much damage, but there's the dot damage starting to stack up as well. And now we're much more even. Very nice grab here by Raziel. Nice grab once again by Raziel. Penzo is on the verge of dying at this point. The verge of death. Needs to find an opening, and instead Raziel is just going to be able to get the rush punish. And that is going to be a clean 2-0 from Raziel. Just some unfortunate innings for Penzo, I feel like. But still pretty close. Still pretty close overall. And now Grimwood is going back in for losers finals. We are going to go back to first to free. Into first to free territory. Can someone fill in that bracket, please, so I can load in the match? We're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Whatever. We're gonna go to Mausoleum for that. Gonna go straight in. And we're gonna see the Max Brass coming out as well. We're not playing around anymore on Grimwood's side. The brass is out. We're just going right in. And that's the big thing as well about Brass. Brass is just buffer Spring Man. And if he charges in, if you've got buff Brass, because right now it is normal Brass, Grimwood is going to try and look for any time to get buff. Because it gives you permacharge, it gives you armor, it basically makes you into a heavy without too much of the disadvantage of the heavies. Nice 1-2 by Grimwood. Yeah, so far it's pretty even. Grimwood is now in critical, and now it's going to be permanently buff. Again, max mode, because you know. Buff Springman, but Razio recognizing the situation, not going to risk it, just going to use the rush in order to get that round. Now going to round 2, we do have Razio trying to apply a lot of pressure with that Tri-Blast. And so far it is working, like, it's at least preventing Grimwood from charging up. Which is always good. And now Grimwood is going to lay down the law with the rush. Going to try and go for a cheeky grab, but Razio's just going to be able to counter it. And now we do have buff Grimwood. Buff Max Brass. For a little bit. It's not permanent, but it still lasts a good while. You know. Good nade hit. Razio on his last legs. And the Chakram is going to take it. Which means we are going to go into round 3. Both players being very hasty right now, trying to get one over each other. Yeah, Grimwood just being buffed, like, that's the big thing. Grimwood is just going to look to be buffed in this matchup, but there's still the fact that their roster is going to be threatening even when buffed, just because it's going to force a hard knockdown if he gets hit by it. Doesn't really matter so far. Razio is doing a very good job with the grabs, most notably. Being very patient, and he can afford to be patient with that life lead, honestly. Even with 50 seconds on the clock. And yeah, that rush trade is not gonna go well for Grimwood. That is going to be first game going straight to Razio. That was not a good idea. And now we're gonna go to sparring ring for the next match. And we're gonna see the Twin Tail Ditto as well. Interesting. People trying to take Razio down at his own game. Interesting strategy. We do have a chill on Grimwood's side. It could be pretty good if it lands. That's going to be the big thing. If it lands. Yeah, so far we're doing good. We're doing good. Like on Grimwood's side, we're doing good. The switch is working out. We're also getting those stealth explosions onto Raziel as well. And that was pretty fast, honestly. Pretty fast first round for Grimwood. Now going into round 2. Raziel does have to be a little more patient. Oh, except this time it was Grimwood who pulled the trigger a little bit too quick. But I mean, so far it's still pretty even. We're just showing off with the slow time on both sides. Like, I'm going slow time, and you slow time, and you slow time. Very funny to see, I will say. Raziel is adapting pretty well right now to Grimwood's play style. Being much more comfortable, although being stuck completely in the corner. And once again, Grimwood pushing that rush trigger way too soon. He should have just blocked. He should have just blocked. It really feels like it's just panic rushing at this point. Which is weird, because usually Grimwood has some good composure. So it's weird to see him a little bit too hasty with the rush trigger. Ooh, good arm break from Grimwood. Gonna go straight into the rush. Good freeze as well. Very nice job though from Raziel to get back into the game and push Grimwood into the corner. Raziel going for rush. This time Grimwood does not have rush, so has to find another option to get out of here. And yeah, just like that, Grimwood is going to get one on the board with Raziel's own character. Very nicely done. And we're gonna go Mausoleum for game 3. No counter picks on either side. We're going to stick to the same characters. And yeah, I almost feel like I don't want to say anything, but I do think Mausoleum does fit Raziel's playstyle a little bit more and sparring. So this could get interesting. Grim is going to get the first freeze though into the grab. Now both players slowing down the pace of the game pretty drastically, then going for all the trades in the world. And both players not really finding any opening on each other right now. Which is going to be advantageous for Grimwood right now, considering he has the life lead. Both players have rush. We're gonna have to see if Grimwood panic presses it again, pretty much. That's going to be the big question. Because Raziel can pretty much bait. If Grimwood doesn't get composure back, Raziel can pretty much bait Grimwood's own rush. Just like that, but this time with the jump, it is going to be a one trade for Grimwood. Just use the jump on top of it to avoid the first part of the rush. And Grimwood's gonna get the first one on the board. First round on the board. And once again, we do have a situation of somewhat of a stalemate, where both players just do not know how to get in on each other. Both players have punch arms as well on both sides. But Grim does have a weak right arm, weak left arm as well, just weak shield, weak everything, which could be dangerous. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get any punish on that grab either. Ooh, and a broken arm on Grimwood's side. That's going to be a free rush for Raziel. Just like that. And now Grimwood is in a very precarious situation. But Grimwood is going to be able to answer right back with his own rush. Now start to get the advantage, pinning down Raziel in on the wall. Raziel is just going to be able to roaster his way out of here. And once again, we're back into the stalemate situation, and that is going to be very advantageous for Raziel. Now going to round 3, once again we're going to be playing the stalemate. First hit goes to Raziel. Grim not forgetting to hit back. Raziel gonna be able to land the rush. Now Grim has rush himself. And just like that, the rush is going to get hit as well. 270 damage. Trying to go for the Yoki grab. Not quite, not quite. And I will say, I like that Grimwood has the Chakram right now. Because the Chakram is just going to be able to work around those roasters. Right now, Raziel is the one with the health disadvantage. Grimwood's just going to be able to pop the rush, get 290 damage, and kill! I wasn't sure if that was going to kill, but apparently it does. That's going to be another game to Grimwood. And we're going to go straight back to Mausoleum. Just the run back. We're going in. Going right back in. Shield is low already on Grimwood's side. It is not looking too great in this opener, but at the same time, again, we are back into the situation of stalemate where both players are trading pretty consistently. We do have a popper on Raziel's side, which I feel is doing a lot more work just because it can hit some more consistent pokes. But still, Raziel going for rush. Grimwood able to punish it with a grab. Nice. And Grimwood's gonna go for a rush of his own, but Raziel's just gonna be very patient. But gonna get hit by the last part of the rush, unfortunately, dropping shield too soon. But still. And we're back to the stalemate. We're able to counter a grab. Raziel trying to go for some cheeky win confirming here. And Grimwood just popping out rush, gonna kill. Nor get the round, and now Grimwood's on match point. No questions asked here. No questions asked. Now going into round 2. I feel like Grimwood overall has a good understanding of how Razzle plays at this point. But Razzle did bring out the cooler ring in order to get around those punch arms. But Grimwood once again has an arm weak. Gonna dodge the rush as well, but unfortunately gonna get shield broken here. Not gonna get much damage out of the shield break on Razzle's side, but still. And now we're just showing off the Starstruck. And very good rush here from Grimwood, getting some good damage. And I feel like all Grimwood has to do now is play very defensively. Just be very patient. Razzle getting some good hits in here to try and get back into that game. Grimwood once again with a weak arm. And I feel like that's going to be a theme right now. And yeah, Razzle's going to be able to get the punish with the rush. Very nicely done. And now Grimwood's is the one in the critical. Grimwood's just going to be able to find the rush as well. 255 damage, 8 seconds on the clock. This could be anyone's game. It's going to be Razzle's game. We are going to go to round 3. And Grimwood's gonna get an early freeze, going for those freeze chains, going for the grab. Just banking it all on those freeze chains, it would seem, on that view round. And so far it's working. Like, it's deleting Razzle's health pretty handily. Each time he gets the 50-50 between the shield and the... Ooh, good block on that rush. And the shield break is not going to do much damage because it was on the end of the rush as well. Just reset the arm health. Ooh, Grimwood popping out rush. It's going to get blocked. And now Razzle's the one with weak arms. What a turn of events. Freeze into grab. That's going to be over. And Grimwood is going to get back into the grand final spot to face out Rifa. Yeah, very nicely played by Grimwood. Just essentially flaunting the Twintel in Razzle's face. He's just like, oh, so you're playing? I can play better with your own character. And now Rifa's going back in for the kill into this grand finals. We do have Rifa on winner's side, Grimwood on loser's side. But before we start, just as a reminder, Vortex Gallery is next week. And you want to register right now if you do not want to miss it, because registrations close on Tuesday. So if you want to play some ARMS with the rest of Europe on the 12th of February at 15 CET, make sure to register right now before it's too late. Again, it's on the 12th of February at 15 CET. And just as a reminder, we do have a Matcherino for it. You can contribute right now by typing in !Matcherino in the chat. You will get a link. You can contribute for free by just redeeming the code. It will just add a 25 cents to the pot, which is always appreciated. And there are already $202.50 in the pot right now for the winner of Vortex Gallery Online 2023. And also check out the other tournaments, because they're cool. There's like 60 games in there, like, come on. Also coming up at Wolf TV this time, we're gonna be playing some Breaker's Revenge at Battle for the Den. So if you wanna discover Breaker's Revenge, you can just jump in the tournament on the 19th of February at 15 CET. You can just register right now by typing in !Wolf TV in the chat. It will give you the link so you can register there if you want to play some Breaker's Revenge and discover the game. And finally, next week at the Playing Grounds on Wolf TV again. Exactly on the 7th of February at 21:30 CET, we will be playing some Rivals of Ever in a free-play session on PC. So if you have the game, feel free to jump in. We're just gonna be chilling. We're gonna be chilling, playing pretty much all night long. So yeah, if you want to chill out and play some Rivals of Ever, make sure to join us on the 7th of February at 21:30 CET on Wolf TV. And with that, we are going to be ready for our grand finals. Grimwood versus Rifa. And we're gonna go straight to Mausoleum for the first game. No questions asked. Going straight to Mausoleum. And yeah, we're gonna see the Max Brass and the Misango. This is like the serious stuff. We got the funny stuff before in winners finals, now we got the serious stuff. Just the mains coming out. And to be fair, the way that Rifa makes Misango work is just a thing of beauty. So I'm not complaining. And then there's Grimwood's Brass, which is just a threat all around. Rifa is in blue now, gonna be Speedy Boy, not for long. The problem when I commentate Misango is that I just give commentators curse. Remember when I say, like, Rifa's in yellow? It's like, how long is it gonna be, is he gonna be in yellow? But yeah, so far so good. Just Rifa playing around, being very respectful of Grimwood's deflect, which is doing a lot of work right now. Just the Max Brass deflect is doing a lot of work. We do have Rifa in yellow though, so at any time he can just pop out the rush and be invincible. And Grimwood knows it. Grimwood has to respect it. And sometimes just the threat of Rifa pulling out rush is more threatening than just Rifa actually pulling out rush. And we do have Grimwood in max mode now. And gonna get the catch as well, as Rifa is now wide open, no longer in yellow. But 8 seconds on the clock, there's not gonna be much that Grimwood can do. I don't think he really wants to pull out the rush at this stage in the game. It's too early, it's too early. We're gonna keep it for later, you know? Now going to round 2, Grimwood going to go get some good nates hit in. Nate hits in, we are going to see the trampoline come out. I don't think this really advantages either character, honestly, in this matchup. But we'll see. But so far, Rifa is getting a lot of pokes with that cracker. And Rifa's just gonna pop out the rush, knowing that he's gonna be invincible. And Grimwood's just gonna bait it out with just shielding. So now this removes that threat of yellow Rifa. Now Rifa's hitting on the armor. But Grimwood is one hit away from dying, but the grab is not going to be enough to kill. Rifa's just on 1 health. Really thought that was going to be enough to kill, honestly. And Grimwood's just going to pull out the rush just to secure that round. It's like, no, screw it, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, we're done. I'm going to go to round 3. Which sometimes it's just good, you know. Even if it's early in the set, it's just good to like pull out the burst option and be like, yeah, no, I'm taking that round, not taking any risks. And it shows because Grimwood now has the ascendant in this first round. Sorry. Rifa, however, is going to go for rush from the trampoline, get some good damage in. But Grimwood is also very close to rush right now. Rifa is in red though, so has armor, which could be a problem considering Grimwood's setup right now. But Grimwood is now in critical, now in maximum, now has armor of his own. Not gonna do much against that cracker. Rifa's in yellow, and just the 1-2 is going to take down Grimwood. That's going to be first point on the board for Rifa. And now we're going to Temple Grounds for the next game. Ooh, and we're gonna see the Thunderbird on Grimwood. Love seeing the Thunderbird. It's such a majestic arm. A cheeky one at that, but also one that is in the harder to use category, I would say. Just because its trajectory can be so weird at times. Yeah, Rifa's gonna get snuffed out of that blue mask real quick with that Thunderbird. I do think the Thunderbird can be very powerful, honestly, in this early game. Just because of the pillars, you know? Because you can work around the pillars, and also because you can work around Rifa's own pillar, honestly. Rifa is in yellow now. And Grimwood has to respect it. Pillars is down as well. On the left, on the right side. And yeah, Grimwood's just gonna bait out the rush once again. And also get into critical out of that. Arm down on both sides. And the Thunderbird is going to finish it off. Just like that. And now Riff is on the offensive. With Blue Mask on, you do have Cracker as well to try and beat out the armor out of Grimwood if need be. Riff is just on the offensive with this Blue Mask. Grimwood trying desperately to get rid of the Blue Mask as well. And yeah, all of a sudden, now that the pillars are down, and now that Riff has adapted to the Thunderbird, like, the Thunderbird is not doing that much work. Ooh, but I say that as we get a stun, but it's also the stun time, the electricity time on the Thunderbird is not that big, honestly. Maybe pretty hard to confirm into. And yeah, that's going to be a good round for Rifa, to say the least. But going into round 3, Grimwood is going to stick with the Thunderbird. Rifa in yellow. Rifa being very threatening right now. And gonna be able to pull out the rush before Grimwood baits it out of him. And he's gonna be able to snuff out Grimwood's rush as well. This is huge. Grimwood, however, is going to get a free charge as well. And now Rifa's in red. Grimwood is in critical though. Grimwood is able to get ahead of the Thunderbird into the grab. And just like that, the health is melting on Rifa's side. Gotta be very careful. And that's the big thing. Never say GG's to a max brass. Because that kind of stuff can happen and will happen to you. Rifa does have the yellow mask with a full rush meter though. To threaten Grimwood. No longer has the yellow mask. This is going to be very tense. Both players one hit away from dying. Again, Rifa can pop out Rush at any moment and be invincible. Grimwood is just going to be very threatening with perma-charged arms. This could be anyone's game. So far, I think nobody's hit each other in 20 seconds. And the rushes have been baited out. Rifa no longer has any options. I think this is a draw if this continues like this. No, Rifa has a sliver of health more. Rifa did have a slimmer of health more. I did see it. It's like 2 HP versus 1 HP. Rifa just had a couple of pixels more. And yeah, they didn't look at the health correctly and didn't notice that extra sliver of health that Rifa had. But to be fair, from a distance, it's hard to notice, so it just happens. And Rifa is going to go with Ninjara for the next game. Potentially the last one of this tournament. And we're going to go straight back to Temple Grounds as well. No questions asked. Hopefully Grimwood doesn't make the same mistake. Well, yeah, the taunt bait at this point. This is just a taunt bait. And yeah, Grimwood already applying a ton of pressure with that Tri-Bolt. With those stun confirms as well. Getting the self-explosions as well onto Rifa. Getting some good damage into that opener. Rifa is going to answer right back with a grab. Going to try and control the space with that Ice Dragon as well. We'll see how it goes. Rifa has a downed arm, potentially, and Grimwood is just going to be able to use the jumping rush to his advantage and get a round on the board. Rifa sticking to the same loadout. Or no, yeah, the same loadout. And going for the rush very early in the round in order to get some good damage onto Grimwood. And yeah, already it's looking like the complete opposite of the previous round, with Rifa just pushing down Grimwood into the corner, doing a lot of pressure right now, putting a lot of pressure. With a very quick arm with the Tri-Blast and a positional arm like the Ice Dragon, I'm not too surprised, and Grimwood is maybe struggling a little bit to adapt to this whole thing. Grimwood pulling out the trigger a little bit too early, but thankfully Rifa is just going to have to teleport into that rush. So good for Grimwood, and just like that, Grimwood pulls out the comeback and gets a game on the board. Yeah, that's exactly as we said. The risk with Ninjara is just that you're gonna get teleported into the rush like 75% of the time. So maybe not the best idea. Sometimes. If you don't know where to dodge, like, this is probably not the best idea. Rifa is, however, going to stick to the Ninjara. And to be fair, Rifa does have time, but I hope he doesn't throw to a lead. That's for sure. I mean, so far it's looking pretty good for Rifa, just putting down a lot of pressure with the Tri-Blast once again. But also we do have the Slapamander coming out. Try and go for some cheeky win confirms from the side. Still, I really think that Rifa right now is struggling, especially with the Ninjara shield. This is really how it feels right now. Rifa in critical. Grimwood not too far away, to be fair. We'll continue to put down. We have Grimwood in critical. We have Grimwood in maximum. Gonna get the grab here. We got an early trampoline coming out. And Grimwood is just going to use the armor to armor through and get the rush. And get another round on the board. Never say GG's to a max brass. Because of that. Riffa going to go for the early rush going into this round too. And once again, controlling the space very well with this Ice Dragon. The Ice Dragon is going to be much more efficient, honestly, at controlling the space, especially now that the trampoline is out. Just because Grimwood is going to have much less space to escape the Wrath of the Dragon. And we have an arm down. And we have an arm down. Riffa just didn't have Rush quite ready yet, though. Grimwood gonna get the grab, and now Grimwood is in max mode once again. Grimwood trying to push Riffa into the wall. Going to get a full rush as well, 280 damage. Riffa now in critical. But Riffa is going to be able to catch Grimwood's landing with the rush. And now Riffa is on match point. And going to round 3, good trade here in order to begin. Grimwood is going to push back with, again, the Tri-Volt. The Tri-Volt is doing a lot of work here. Tri-Volt, Chakram, going for those very tight confirms as well off of the stun. And so far it's doing work. Riffa doesn't really know what to do at this point. Going to push Grimwood back in there. Just mixing it up with the different arms, honestly, on Riffa's side. We're just mixing it up. Try and check if Grimwood can adapt very quickly on those options, but so far it's looking like Grimwood is just very aware of what's going on with the Slam Try set, for the lack of a better term. And now we're going into game 5. Grimwood one game away from the reverse sweep and going into true finals, but Riffa's just gonna go back into Mausoleum, into Ninjara, no questions asked. Like, no business, we're not waiting. I really hope for him that this is the right choice, but so far I really feel like Riffa, especially on this stage, was doing much more work with the Ice Dragon. But then again, we did have an early trampoline. That being said, that might be the play, honestly. Getting that early trampoline could be the play. It's just very hard to get, you know. And so far the pressure that Riffa is applying is insane! Grimwood's struggling to find a way in. And just like that, even the armor is not going to save him from this, and Riffa is back on match point. Back on tournament point. Grimwood laying down the rush onto Riffa. Good grab from Grimwood to the stun. Riffa is going to pull out the rush in order to get some space back. You know, personal space. Got some slaps in. Riffa continuing to try and lay down the pressure with the Tri-Blast, but Grimwood is doing a much better job right now at deflecting everything. That's going to be the big thing. Grimwood still has deflect on his side. Just that Springman deflect is going to be key. Double stun. Riffa is now one hit away from dying. But Grimwood is getting blown up. We do have the maximum brass though on the field now. Taking a lot of damage despite the armor. Ooh, that was an interesting interaction. Not enough to save Riffa though. But yeah, we got one hit of the rush actually landing and then Riffa managing to teleport out of it. That was very interesting. And now we're on the final round. And Riffa has pulled out the Ice Dragon again. Here's the thing, I don't think the trampoline is close to breaking right now. Maybe 2 hits. And so far, they've not really been playing over the trampolines too much. So the Ice Dragon is not going to be as bad for Grimwood as it was in the previous game. Grimwood has a weak arm. Getting those stuns pretty consistently. Grimwood is playing off the stuns very well. Getting the grab as well. Riffa pulling out Rush, getting the better end of the trade, and Grimwood is now on 1 HP, but once again, we do have maximum burst. He cannot armor through anything right now, so yeah. It's going to be a wrap. He's not going to be able to armor through anything with 1 HP, like, it was done, and Riffa is going to take the EU Arms Challenge pre-Vortex workout. Very well done by Riffa. We're getting back into the game slowly but surely before next week's Vortex Gallery tournament, the big one. But there are just things that are not gonna change anytime soon, and that is Riffa's dominance over the EU scene. We shall see if Vortex goes any differently. But it is going to be the big question going into it. That is for sure. But yeah, with that, we've got our final results. We do have Riffa coming in first. As usual, we do have Grimwood in second, Raziel in third, and Penzo in fourth. Congratulations to our top 4. Thank you everyone for playing, by the way. It's always good fun to be playing some ARMS, to be watching some ARMS.